Every time. Good.
Oh, good evening, Tasha. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am excellent. I am, as a colleague has been saying to me, I am blessed by the best. And so, man, it's a whole thing. She says, "Nah, I've lost it." But anyway, no, I'm fantastic. How about
Oh,
you?
but you're that.
But I'm that. Whatever it is, I'm that. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Friday and the weekend. Although it's been a short week, it's been a long week.
It's been a long week, and I have been in the gym every single day. Oh, hey, Miss Nat. Hi, Gail. How are you?
Ladies, good evening,
It
ladies.
is so good to see you all. So let's talk about finding joy where you are. Because we just read an interesting fact, right?
Yeah, 38% of Americans are not happy. No, other way around. Only 38% are happy, which means 60% of the population is just not happy in their lives.
Exactly. And that was a recent
Gallup poll.
Gallup poll. Just 38% are satisfied, which is
Yeah.
not great.
It's staggering. I mean,
But it's understandable given what we've come out of, the racial tensions that we've had in this country, the political tensions that we have had in this country. Like it's understandable. We're now in a financial crisis where prices are going up.
I think it would be interesting to see what it was prior to March 2020, though, right? Like,
Yeah,
I do think that people are not as happy as they could be because they aren't really, living in the now and sort of trying to find the joy in their right now. It's not, I don't think the unhappiness just started with the pandemic, but it may have increased for sure.
yeah.
But I think it would be interesting to see what that number was prior to.
Oh, I think the pandemic was a multiplier. I think being
Yeah.
isolated, right, not being able to connect with friends. When we talk about joy, and part of joy, like we'll talk about some of the ways that you can find joy and start it now, right? And one of those ways is connecting with people. One of my favorite ways, like I absolutely love spending time with my family and friends. It's it brings me joy.
Yeah.
And so I think, now granted, I'm not suggesting that I am the poster child of what anything looks like, but it is a proven way that, when you're connected with people, that you will be happier. And the isolation that some people that many people had during the pandemic, you know how many Zoom parties we had just to see faces.
I mean, you might be the poster child and the anomaly for a lot of the happiness features that we talk about. You think you might not be the poster child. You might be the poster child and the anomaly.
Well, I mean, so listen, we read this Oprah.com article, and we like a lot of the tips. And listen, the reality is everyone's going to be happy every day. That's the misconception, that people are happy every day. We're not. No one's happy every day. Everyone has an up day, a down day. Everyone goes through, right? And I'm certainly not about to sit there and present like
Yeah.
every day, all day.
Well,
No.
what's the gospel song? When I look back, my good days outweigh my bad days, right?
Yes. Yes.
So
Absolutely.
that is really what it's about. And I think a lot of the things that we talk about all circle back to mindset and perspective. And this is one of those areas as well.
Yeah. So one of the first things that we suggest is people set boundaries. That's, it's a big one. I'm a big proponent of boundaries. And listen, I like to think I walk around with a force field shield around me. Nope.
I won't complain. That's the song, Gail.
Yes, I won't complain. That's right. As a matter of fact, can I just say this, since we're talking about an Oprah article? That is the song that she says she often sings, Oprah,
Hmm.
right? When she's stressed. And that is a song she was singing when she was praying about the role in The Color Purple. And she was at a fat farm trying to lose weight.
Hmm.
Like, this is what God said. And she said, I was singing that song, and Steven Spielberg called, and well, the rest is history. But I Won't Complain is an amazing gospel song. But going back to our point, I'm sorry, that was a tangent.
Yes.
Setting boundaries.
Setting boundaries.
Are you good at setting boundaries?
I think so. I don't know, you might be able to help me. I mean, I think for me, it varies in different areas and places of my life. So I will give that as my answer. Some places I'm very good at setting boundaries.
Yeah,
Um, I I value my time, right? The 24 hours that I have in the day, and so I try to do a really good job of setting boundaries where my calendar is concerned,
yeah,
and not letting people encroach where they don't belong or activities encroach. But then there are other areas where it's like I probably should have a boundary here, and
yeah.
I'm letting them overstep.
It's been I've had a great lesson in boundaries, and there was an environment that I was in where I continually gave and gave and gave, thinking like, oh, rest is on the other side of this giving, right? Rest is on the other. Oh, they'll see how hard I worked and they'll
Yeah,
appreciate it. And when I realized, oh, that doesn't happen. Oh, you just ask for more. Oh, wait. Oh, I got all this. Wait, and now it's an expectation. Of course, you're here at 8 and 9 o'clock at night. What do you? What? That's what you've been doing, and that's what we expect. Thank you. What about Nan, Gail? What about you? How are you all good with boundaries? But I mean, but in talking about boundaries, when you don't have them and people consistently encroach them, you feel bad, you feel frustrated, you feel annoyed, you feel guilty, you feel under pressure. Like
yeah,
I do know someone who really presses people's boundaries a lot. And I think as a result, people don't really want to work with her too much because she's
yeah.
always pressing the boundary.
The guilt thing is true and for real, right? I'll say from a mom perspective, we always talk about self-care, and that's one of the things when you set boundaries. If you say I have to take care of myself and this is my time, like it's going to be quiet in my space for this 1 hour or this 1.5 hours, like don't come up here, don't knock on my door,
Yeah,
don't call me. You have to be able to do that. And as a mom, sometimes you do feel guilty
yeah,
because you are typically the primary caretaker, and if
yeah,
that baby is like, "Mommy,"
yeah.
it's hard,
It's
but
I mean, but self-care is very important in
yeah,
finding joy.
for sure.
So what do you do to do self-care?
Hmm, I get my nails done
Uh-huh.
and my toes done on a consistent basis, and that's my thing. I used to have Tasha time on my calendar, you recall, prior to the pandemic. Um,
During the pandemic too.
Some during the pandemic, but it's really been overtaken by this MBA program.
Yeah,
Tasha time turned into study time, so that's not really self-care.
right.
But I think the consistent thing that I do, yeah, is I get manicures and pedicures.
So Gail says, I set boundaries and people at times feel you're being stubborn, mean, fill in the blank. Yes, that's sometimes. Nan says, I've gotten pretty good at it since I retired. Boy, that retirement life, I keep hearing great things about that retirement life.
Listen, I
I
like
don't care about nothing no more. Find joy where you are and get retired.
it.
That's
That's the answer.
that is the answer. Self-care time is important. Like really putting that time back in you and like yesterday I had to do self-care. I had a very stressful day yesterday and I said, you know what? I'm just gonna take a ride. I'm gonna take a ride. I'm gonna do something I want to do, I like to do, in a beautiful neighborhood. I just took a ride.
This is a really great example of how different things are care for different people, right? You taking a ride in your car, it's not a ride, it's really a drive,
Yeah.
is taking a moment in self-care for you. I hate that I have to drive to get my nails done. I
Um,
do not like driving. It is no. It is not self-care,
oh,
and I don't like it.
oh, well, I mean, for me, it was I was picking up. I have my grandmother's earrings that were being repaired, and I wanted my grandmother's earrings. They had been in the shop.
I get it, but there are some people that are happy getting in their car and just
Oh, no, no. But the point I'm making is not so much the drive. It was the escaping the situation I was in, removing myself from the situation, and taking myself to a place where I was going to find love and joy. Right?
Oh,
That's what it was. All right. So
oh my God. What else
Dan
is on the
says they
list?
ain't half bad. Hey, Gangsta E, good evening. I mean, but so it was really just removing myself from that stressful situation.
Hmm.
Football has
Football has
started.
started. So the self-care is a diversion from the craziness going on. Okay, got another football fan in the house. We had a couple of
Yes.
football fans last week.
Right. I mean, and so self-care is absolutely important. All right, let's get into another thing. Reciting affirmations to combat negative emotions. Is that something that you do?
I have tried it. I would not say it's something that I do on a consistent basis. So the funny thing is when I was reading this article, I felt like things are so cliche, right? Like a lot
Right.
of things that are on the list, but I would say don't knock it until you tried it because
Listen, I'm going to share the article with everyone so they can see it themselves. Because, like, why should we have all
it
the fun?
might work for you.
Yeah.
You know, I think at a certain time and space where you are, it definitely could be powerful. We talk a lot about manifestation, we talk a lot about speaking things into existence, and affirmations are just those constant reminders of what it is that you want. I'll tell you, for the past couple of days, I've listened to one of those YouTube things, listen to this before you start your day. And I've listened to them like 2 or 3 times in the row just while I'm doing things in the morning, and it makes a difference. Not exactly the affirmation that the article is
Right.
talking about, but similar.
Listen, I would agree. There's a prayer that you and I both listen to that it's an amazing way to start our day. We should really do it more often. But it is great. And I don't necessarily do affirmations, but I will listen to prayers at night. And and that it's sort of just kind of on repeat in my head, of how I need to move. And so the repetition of positive words, I think is helpful.
And gets deep into your subconscious,
It
even if
does.
you're not
It does.
paying attention. And when you listen to it over and over and over again, you catch a different thing every time. And it's
Yeah.
only 10 or 12 minutes, but that many are not so blessed.
Every
Stuck
time. Every time. All
every
right. Bring nature into your home.
I think that's a really great idea. I do not have a green thumb, but I saw an article on CBS Sunday Morning or something a couple of weeks ago, and this plant walls are a thing.
Yeah.
And they are beautiful, and I love them, and I take a picture next to them every time I can. But they're like $40,000 to install, and then you have to pay for the maintenance of it. This particular plant wall, because there's a
Oh,
company, there's a patent in the United States for it, and it's beautiful. And this woman was like, "This is like a piece of art," but I'm like, "It's a piece of art that you have to pay for every month." Now, listen, if money wasn't a thing for me, I might consider a plant wall
you
that
would not.
someone else could
You
take
would not.
care of.
You would not. You would not. Because I'm gonna tell you, I saw it for like $20 on Amazon. Okay, just buy the pieces and stack up. But
Yeah, that's not the patented one though.
no, it's not.
Waterless or something. I don't know. I do have a plant that my friend got me for Mother's Day, I think,
Uh huh.
and it is still alive.
Well, listen, a whole 3, 4 months later, that's fantastic. Now, for me, I'm not. I have brought plants more into my house. I have some really nice plants on my deck right now. I've got a cactus. I've got a.
I don't think a cactus counts
It's
because
oh,
they
let
live
me
in
let
the
me.
desert, dude.
I beg your pardon. I visited some friends in Baltimore. They broke off a piece of their cactus, put it in a bag, and said, just plant it. I planted it in dirt, just that one side. I said, just stick it in, and it has started sprouting. I beg your pardon.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't take much. That's my point.
But that's not the point.
If you can put it in a bag and take it, 4 states away without
And
it
the
dying,
goal was bring
doesn't have
nature
any roots or
inside.
need for water.
Ma'am, ma'am, you got it wrong. The goal
Cactus
was
don't
bring
count.
nature into your home. I got a
Cactus
snake plant, which is hard to kill. I got a cactus, which is hard to kill. I got some very nice things on my deck. that are elephant ears and all the colors. I got all that. I did lose a peace lily, but I'm going to get a new peace lily because I do want to. That is a goal of mine. I want to get better because I do
I
love what it
did
brings.
grow up with plants in my house, and I thought it was a beautiful thing. Maybe later.
But also, like if you're not bringing nature inside, listen, it's important to get outside.
That
Listen,
fresh air, that vitamin D,
that fresh air,
I'm
I
all
love
for
it.
that as long as I've taken my allergy meds.
You and I both. But taking a walk outside, I mean, I would say that's something I got out of the pandemic that I never did
Same
before.
here.
Going for walks. That is so, I love it. I mean, I went for a walk this evening. I went to the gym and I went for a walk, but I walk a lot now.
And
And
we
it
get
is
a lot out of it. I remember the article I think Gail shared with us about the same amount of calories burned and less pressure on your body running
right.
versus walking, because I did used to try and run, but I don't run anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I do try to run occasionally, but again, less wear and tear on your body.
Yeah.
You're still burning calories. It's active. You're getting the vitamin D. We're getting the connection. I encourage anyone who hasn't started walking, start walking. Get on the phone, do a virtual walk with your friends, put some earbuds in, and keep going. But it's important to get outside, and I mean that's like hitting two things in one: connecting and doing that.
That's right.
And so I'm going to end with the most fun one, which I didn't know was a thing. It says have more chocolate in your life. Like, I didn't know that was a thing.
Dark
Like
chocolate specifically,
dark chocolate, yes,
good for your
because
heart.
it reduces the stress hormone cortisol. Listen, this is how people end up stress eating, right? And they just put anything in there, right? But this article that I put the link in there goes on to talk about how your gut and your health are connected, your happiness are connected. And listen, one of the things that you and I absolutely love to do is eat.
Yes.
Yes, Gail says yes, yes, yes. I'm not as much of a fan of the dark chocolate, but I can get happy with chocolate.
You can get some good dark chocolate. I think for me, I need a really good accompaniment. So do
Mm-hmm.
you like York peppermint patties?
No.
Oh, you don't like peppermint with your dark chocolate, huh?
Although I have been introduced to the Thin Mint pretzels, the Girl Scout cookies Thin Mint pretzels. They only sell it in Costco. If anyone needs some joy in their life, I suggest you do it. I suggest you do it.
I don't know if that counts.
That may not count. That may not count. But
if it makes you happy, go for it, right? Everything in moderation. But I to your point about the gut and happiness, listen, I'm a living testimony that a happy gut is a happy person.
that's absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You had those challenges and now
a lot of
you're
challenges.
much better. So we're happy about that. So I mean the point of the whole conversation is that you can find some joy and understanding that anyone can be having a difficult time, and happiness isn't something you do every day. It doesn't happen every day, but small steps, choices, decisions, what you just decide to focus on certainly helps you get to finding joy and being
And
joyful
it's about finding it right now. You don't
right
have
now.
to
Yeah,
wait to plan it for later, or it's coming, or my life is, all the worse because I'm not happy every day.
right.
And I will say that having an accountability partner definitely helps keep that at the forefront.
Yeah,
We have committed to each other to make sure that we are looking at things from the best perspective. Sometimes it's a different perspective, but always trying to pull the joy out of the situation, trying to pull good out of the situation. I'm the best at the benefit of the doubt and my rose colored shades. I like it. I try and help you give people the benefit of the doubt.
okay. But yes, but also finding the right accountability partner that understands being positive.
Yeah.
Because everybody ain't it. Everybody's not. But let's get into, right? If you want to join us, listen, come on,
Yeah.
set it off Sundays,
It's some accountability.
get some accountability. It's a lot of fun. Come through. Sundays at 8:30. Our link is, I'm going to put our link up here.
If you're
Set it
if you're
off Sunday.
watching football, We'll see you next go round. But if you're not, then come through.
Come through and join us. It's a lot of good fun. And as always, you can find us on social media, AQ Partners, AQ_partners on Instagram, and the AQ Partners is our website. And as always, you can take our class, change the game, go to bit.ly/AQ class. But every Sunday, 8:30. It's been great getting with the ladies.
We'll be here.
Oh, Gangsta E says Dove dark chocolate. Okay.
Really good. If you like salted caramel, that's
Yes.
also a good accompaniment. I have those in my refrigerator right now. I'm not eating them, but they are in my refrigerator. And I learned that from my mom. She keeps a bag of dark chocolate in the refrigerator on the door. Just one little piece is all you need.
I need 10. But good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate
Night.
it.